Welcome back to Appalachian Expose. As always, honestly, none of my guests need to be introduced. Sitting next to me, of course, Hornswoggle.
Hi.
Presenting
Hello.
brother. Back.
Good. I'm back.
We
back
just
again.
got the clarification, right? We thought he might be the first with the double, but no, he's number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3 to number 2. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. Number 3. Third time for yes. I got it.
Number 2.
Still
Took me a second to
early in the day.
Well, let's get digging right into it.
Yes.
First time we talked mostly about parenthood and running, how we got in the business and all that sort of thing. Let's get back out because you had. It's no misstatement to say you had one of the more successful careers in the WWE.
I don't like to think that way.
Well,
I don't like to think that way because I think I'm a very weird-minded person at times. If I believe in myself and what I do too much, I think it rides on that line of egotism.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's weird. I view myself as Dylan from Oshkosh, still to this day, to view what I did. And I just started being able to watch old stuff of mine.
Do you hate watching your stuff?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I've watched 3 of my matches in my whole life, up until probably 5 years ago. And now it's I can watch it. My son brings it up. Hey, do you remember doing that? I go, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he sends me the clip.
Yeah.
So it's funny stuff like that, or on Twitter X, that kind of thing. But it's just I can watch it and appreciate it now.
Sure.
And I think because I'm at the point in my career where even though I'm still going,
right,
I can go, okay, I did that in the past, and that's why I can now do this now.
Yeah.
I laugh. I got paid awesome, crazy money for a early 20s-year-old out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and now I can still sign my fake name because of that.
Right.
It's
crazy world, right?
Yes.
But is it? Well, first of all, we all get into this business because we have some modicum of ego, or we wouldn't have.
Sure. And I say that all the time. Yeah.
But is it also the understanding to yourself that you succeeded, you were successful at what you did, and you continue to be successful?
That's the weird part. I can't ever admit I was successful, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I can admit I did some pretty cool things.
Yeah. A different way.
That, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I can admit, hey, I did some pretty awesome things, and I was given some pretty great opportunities. But it's the success part is very, again, it's that fine line of ego.
Yeah.
That I never want to cross over.
Yeah. Is it like when you're a kid you don't want to step on the crack because you might break your grandmother's back? I had, when I first got hired by WWE, the first year and a half, 2 years, I felt and was told I carried myself differently. A little bit of an ego. Yeah.
I never want to go back to that.
True.
Especially now with a kid. I never want to go back. And nothing's worse than your dad going, all right, fucking cool your jets.
Right. Yeah.
I do your taxes. I pay your bills still. Because you don't know how to pay bills. All of your bills come to your dad's house. Sorry? Yeah.
Are you catching this with your family? My older son is the guitarist. Mm-hmm. I'll say this as gently as I can because I love him, obviously, and I'm in awe of his talent. They have a different approach to work than we did. Didn't like it.
No.
And
yes, but yeah.
It's I told them from the time they were born, their dad had been a former world champion. So in their mind, we never talked about wrestling around the house, but with their friends and things, their dad was that guy. I said, but there were a whole lot of years that your dad wasn't that guy that he put in to get to that point of being that guy.
No.
Yeah, right.
I'm opposite.
Yeah.
All we do is talk about wrestling in the house.
Is that right?
Which is, at some point, even I need to go, all right.
Yeah.
Let's just turn it off.
Yeah.
Because he loves it. He loves everything about wrestling.
Yeah.
His friends aren't as into it, which is, I was like, oh, this is cool. I got to sign 97 autographs.
Right.
I think it is 15 years of being on this planet, I think I've signed like 3 autographs for him.
Yeah. Nice.
So either his friends don't think I'm that cool, or he's just like, we're not doing that kind of thing.
Yeah. Or they're a little intimidated.
Correct. That
right?
Yeah. But and also to your point of all that work put in, no, because I fully admit I didn't put work in. I worked in Wisconsin for 1.5 years. And then I got the opportunity that I did to get hired. And so I never say I worked my way into my job.
Well, it's changed so much over the years. What was the road schedule when you were...
Oh, that was work.
Yeah.
That was work.
It's pretty true, yeah.
Yeah. But to get there, I didn't deserve it.
Well, yeah,
but yeah,
you did, but you didn't. If you say you did it in your head, they wouldn't have brought you there and put you in that spot if they didn't think you were capable of carrying off that spot.
Yep.
So,
and it's the traveling, and that's where Landon will ask me about the schedule, and because it's so different than now.
Yeah, right.
With no live events and that, or the rare live events now. But my thing is like, he can't grasp that of, man, you were gone this much, because then he was so young, and he was like, he was 1.5 when he
Toddler.
was when he was he was a baby when I was going. I found out we were gonna have him when I was on the road. So
were you able to be there when you?
Yes.
Wow, that's
you're
lucky.
So lucky, because we had Raw the night before.
Yeah. Wow.
I was flying home as she was going to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she was good enough to hold on to.
Great. She held on.
As a champ.
Yeah. Yeah. But then it was one of those things where I was very lucky. I mean, I was not lucky. They weren't using me during like those first couple of years.
Yeah.
It was like here and there and here and there and here and there. So I was home a lot with him.
Nice.
And then I think so. I was released 10. He was 6 when I got released, and so I think he knows me most as being on the independent stuff.
Yeah.
It's like and then I got I was offered a Legends deal last year, and he was like, it hit him again, like, oh, this is really cool, and it's a great opportunity for Dad, and it's cool for him for that to happen.
Yeah. And isn't that cool, like when you our kids we do so much for, take care of and everything, and yet they get to that point at some point in their life where they're appreciative, but they're also happy for.
Yes.
And
the happy for is where I see a different side of him and growing up.
Yeah.
I fully see, all right, you're not a child anymore thinking for you all the time.
Right. Yeah.
He is 90% of the time, I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah.
But I get like 8%. So
it's so what was the first year your year that you went to WWE?
2006.
Wow, isn't it crazy how the time has flown like that? Last 20, 30 years
20
has been
years.
like, see you blink.
Next year will be 20 years I debuted. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
But it's one of those things where when you get into the business, you don't even have the stones to think like you could even win a match, let alone leave a legacy of any kind, of mark of some kind.
When they hired me, they said it's going to be a 6-month gig. And it was 2 weeks under 10 years I was there. And I was like, man, that's where I reflect on. And that's where I reflect. Either I was okay at my job, or I was really, really good at hiding. One of the two.
Yeah. And there they'll never tell you.
No.
Right.
No. So, to last that long, it was crazy.
Which of your, and it's probably not a good question to ask, coming off right of what we just talked about, what would you consider, like, what match do you look at in your career in WWE and think, like...
I did that WLC match with El Torito, where we did the mini tables, mini ladders, and mini chairs.
Yeah.
And I will never do anything in my career to touch that, like, ever.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Entertaining.
Yeah, and just everything worked. Like, one of those nights where, man, everything... What was yours where you, like... So I talk about it in my book, about that match where I got to the locker room, and it was in New Jersey, and I got to the locker room, and I didn't change out of my gear, because I was like, Well, and the main event was in the ring. We were pre-show.
Yeah.
Main event was in the ring, and I just got out of my gear.
Could you remember the match when you got to the ring or the dressing room?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I was so in the moment still.
Right. But when you got to the dressing room
Yeah.
after having that great match, not that like you went, hey, do we have a match tonight? But was the match in your head or was it?
I would say the
sort of
match
a dream?
was. Yeah, that's a great question. I would say the match. I would say I was so. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about the match. I thought about, man, we did something special.
Yeah.
It was like a cool, special feeling.
Yeah.
What was yours? That you said, and like, you got back to the locker room and you went.
The three-way dance.
Yeah.
With Terry and Sabu. Because initially, my first thought, as I was laying under the rope, blown sky high, the building was brutal hot, and it just never felt like it clicked during the match.
In there or putting it together?
In the match. Just putting it together, you didn't do it with Terry. Like,
Yeah.
he just went to the ring and did it, you know. And I'd never seen a three-way dance. I'd never been in a three-way dance. And it just never got to that point where it felt like it was clicking. And I was so pissed at myself because I knew, like, this was Paul putting me to that spot. And Sherry went, oh, my God, look, Martel. And I look, and they're giving us a standing ovation. My initial thought was, they're just being nice because, like Philadelphia,
Yeah.
just being nice because we went 60 minutes.
Yep.
It wasn't until I got home that week and I watched it back that I started, okay, there was a continuity there. There was not like a regular match, but you could see the pages of it turning. And it was once I did that like, I realized in my head I had no real recollection of the match. Not that I didn't think I was in the match. You grab a headlock, you do this, here's the heat spot, here's the go home. You remember all that stuff. In those matches you have like that are few and far between, you get to the dressing room and you realize it was almost like autopilot.
Yeah. Like
it was just happening. Like you were just along for the ride. Was that how that was for you?
Yes and no. Making sure everything came off great and thinking, oh, if this goes wrong, what do we do?
So prior to that, you were aware enough to know that if we frig this up.
The issue was, Torito doesn't speak a lot of English.
Right.
He's all Spanish, and I don't speak a lick of Spanish. So we can't talk.
Yeah.
We can't communicate out there. We just gotta go. And it was one of those things where I was like, if something goes wrong, we're screwed. Nothing went wrong. It's like, man, this is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you guys, at that point in Terry's career, was there ever a thought of, can he do this?
Very much. Yeah.
Did he ever have that thought?
No.
Never. In his mind, it was.
Yeah.
He was still 20 years old.
Yeah. Well, when you got out there, the first time I worked him was a 45-minute Broadway. And I hadn't seen Terry in months or whatever it was. And he came hobbling in, looking his age. And I went to Paul, I said, is he going to be able to even do this? And we got to the ring, and I was ready to yell for my mom. No, you gotta come save me, Mom. He was like a tiger in there. Like he just, Terry had this 8th gear that he would shift down into and hang on. And he'd snug his stuff in and go, and when you tater him back, he'd go, "You hit like a girl." He was amazing. And then one night we thought we killed him. It was me and Brian Lee versus him and Tommy Funk, Tommy Dreamer.
Yep.
And we're on the floor. We knew he was going to do the spot. He climbs up for the moonsault. I had never thought it, but when he jumped off, it looked like he went, he looked like he was 10 feet tall. And we're trying to gauge where to catch him. We catch him around his waist, and his head comes down, and it sounded like a bowling ball on concrete. And I thought, he's dead. He's got to be.
How old would you say he was then?
54, 5. You stupid son of a he came up through those live rounds, which I was happy to see. He was something else in the ring. There was I don't know if it was the first or second time. First was 45 through, the second was 60 through. And we were just on the mat, just really chaining back and forth. And I did like a forward roll to reverse something, and my shoulder popped out. And he heard it and felt it. He goes, hold on. He grabbed my wrist, rolled over, pushed it inside. Right, I didn't even feel it there when I got to the dressing room.
Yeah.
And Sherry Martel goes, open your mouth, and she throws something in and gives me a beer, and I drink it. Like a few seconds later, I'm trying to talk. I'm going,
Shoulder felt great.
She gave me a Placidil. I said, what the fuck? I started throwing the damn thing up. Yeah, it was.
But then to think, like, he still did all that stuff there, and then he did the WCW run, too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Crazy.
It's insane.
It is insane.
It's insane.
The level that he was working at, I'm right in that age generation now that he was. I can't work nearly to the level that I did prior. He was exceeding what he was doing before.
And God dang, just
supernatural.
Yes. But and then to still continue to do it over and over and over. And never have an off switch.
No.
It was exactly what you said. You saw him in the back and he looked like the old man.
Yeah.
He got, it was like,
yeah.
It's almost like the crowd fully turned him and fully made him turn off his age in his head.
Yeah. I always said the ECW arena, and you hear these cliches all the time. There was some kind of magic in that building. That would be an example. One time, Franny had about 6 months ago. Remember the time he had the flu? I was sick as a dog. If she hadn't asked, I would have remembered. We were right behind the curtain, and I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to do this, man? I could barely stand up. And she goes, then the weirdest thing happened. Your music hit. You looked down at your boots, looked at me and said, you ready? And she said, you went to the curtain. And she thought I was working her. But we got back from the curtain, flat on my face. You go, I mean, adrenaline, to some degree.
You just shut up. Like, you don't think about you anymore.
Yeah.
Think about them.
Yeah. It's like plugging into the Ethernet, like the ether world out there. There's just some kind of energy from something. Who did you travel with primarily in?
Kofi Kingston and Kurt Hawkins, Brian Myers.
Yeah.
Those are 2.5 days.
Half okay, right?
Yeah. Kofi's great. Hawkins, yeah. But we called ourselves Team Dad because Kofi, I had my son, and Kofi had his, and Brian didn't have his girls yet.
Yeah.
So we get to a Denny's, three of us sit down, we'd order, and then Kofi and I would get up from the table and call our family. And Brian would, guys, you're leaving me like a schmuck at the table alone. And then to text you when the food comes.
Yeah.
So we were all home after a weekend, after a thing of shows, after TV, we got home. And he texted the group, can I please be a part of Team Dad? And it was a picture of the
oh, wow.
I was like, oh, man, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, that is good
and
stuff.
And to see the dad he's turned into, obviously, through the years, and Kofi, too, it's just, it's really, really cool.
Well, I think it's one of the big pluses of the business. I mean, there's a lot of things I see in the business that, the live events down and things. I think it's important to come to towns like Charleston, West Virginia, and get in there and meet the fans or whatever, the live experience. But on the real world side that we live in, God, it decimates marriages, and sadly, a lot of the kids don't talk to their fathers anymore because of it.
My thought on the whole thing with limited live events, I don't say no live events, but limited live events, it's adding years onto careers, too.
Oh, yeah, sure.
People don't think about that. People go, oh, there must not be
Did
live
you, when you were younger?
No.
Even with the health things you had prior, right?
And people don't think about that now. They go, they see a clip of a flub or something. They go, oh, shocking. If this wouldn't happen with live events, awesome. But there would be 5. I bet no live events is adding 5 years onto each person's career at minimum. Minimum.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they're not bumping every night.
Yeah. When you tell the younger guys, I always bring up in seminars, if you've heard this, if you've not, each of us has a bump well, a bump tank. When it's empty, there's no gas station to go fill it up. So use them judiciously.
Yes, and I mean, getting hurt on the smallest things on a live event when you're trying to build to something for TV, how silly is that?
Right,
How silly is that in all reality? But you don't see the injuries as much anymore, thankfully, and it's one of those things where I don't see, if they need help and they need teaching in that, They go down to the Performance Center.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Cover the bases.
Yeah.
Right.
And they can hone in on what they need to work on.
When I'm curious, like, back to like you and Coffee and Brian, when you guys were on the road, was it non-stop wrestling talk?
No, it was no. It was families talk and then toy talk because Brian and I, which Kofi was like, this is very odd, and then Kofi and I would talk about video games, and Brian was out, and then them two would talk about sports, and I fucking hate sports. Stupid. It's just dumb. I've never been like a Packer fan. I'm a Brewers fan. I'm not a football or baseball fan. I can't do it. There's too many teams.
Now I'm curious with Brian because like he's even before I knew Brian, when I was hearing again, it just shows you like how the world changes and the universe keeps evolving. When I was hearing about this wrestling fed of action figures, my first thought was, oh my God, like they're
nerds, good kids,
gonna kill the business, right? I mean, it's just, and then like I had the opportunity 4 or 5 years ago to go to one, and it's re-energizing the business. It's pulling,
and now
those dirty fans.
All of these other companies are trying to latch on with their toys and that, and it's just one of those things where it's like, this is great. I love it, and I'm so happy for them. Mostly Brian, not as much Matt. But I'm so happy for them that they get to just continue to do what they love doing.
Sure, yeah.
And it's one of those, to see the evolution of it. I've been part of since day one with it. Yeah. And it's see the evolution of it and just the community that it's grown to be. It's really, really neat. Well, they're at Comic-Con. Like, they're at New York Comic-Con. Right. It's crazy.
It's brought a different fan base in and expanded the fan base in what's available instead of just autographed pictures or t-shirts or whatever.
And it's given back to guys that they can.
Yes.
It's thanking them, and it's providing exactly what you just said, providing them something for the merch table.
Yeah.
It's the best. But also like kids, grandkids, all of that.
It's a segue.
Yeah. Hey, this is what I did. Right. This was me back in the day.
Yes, yeah. Well, and the other part of this is, and do you find, like you said about how you don't like watching yourself? I think all of us that cared about our work, we see every mistake we make. But the one thing that does like just blow my mind is when a fan will come up and have a picture of me with some kid in a certain pose. Yeah. And it's that person, and they're 35 years old.
Blows my mind.
Yeah,
I literally go, "You're making me feel so old."
Right.
And then the worst, the best / worst is, "You were my childhood," and I go,
"Yeah." Eek.
What? I'm still young. I'm 39 years young. I'm not 40 yet. Like, I can't do this. Someone's childhood.
The beauty of it to me is, as somebody who's late coming to this technology stuff, I really think these computer thingies might catch on at some point. But the fact that there we are at 30 years old forever.
Yes.
1,000 years from now, somebody will be watching
isn't that
20 years old.
To think about any person from 2006 on, for me, from you like 1960 on,
40,
can see every match you've ever done.
Nuts.
It's crazy. And then in 100 years from now, they'll be able to download it in their brains and somehow watch it. But it's stuff like that with it. Man, the platforms just let us live forever.
Yeah.
And it's a weird, but it's such a cool feeling.
What's your take, and there's all good and bad in my head, with the AI?
I don't know. I'm so technologically dumb. I don't get it. If I need a quick thing made up for a joke, I text one of my buddies that does the chat GPTs.
Yeah.
Hey, make this guy into a clownfish or something like that.
Yeah.
Send me back. It's I feel it's very positive, but also it's very negative. I feel there's not a lot of middle ground.
Yeah.
It has the potential to take jobs away. but it also has the potential to help out with health and medical and all that stuff. So it's it's one of those things where if it's used in the right way, it's great.
Sure. Well, to your point about the healthcare disease, or like say for instance, a tumor is made up of proteins. Every molecule in our body is made up of proteins. Each one has such convolutions that they had never unraveled a single molecule of anything because it was just so many tangled and tangles, and AI was able to do like 100,000 in like a week. So so there's definitely going to be offshoots once they can unravel that particular cancerous tumor and the protein involved in it. So there's definitely going to be that. My concern is, I'm a huge Randy Travis fan. Back in the day when Brad Armstrong was guys used to crank all that stuff. Randy Travis had a massive stroke some time back. Can no longer sing. About a year ago, I'm driving down the road, a thing pops up, new song from Randy Travis. Is it like a river? So I check it out. He's in the video and everything, and it's he's got such a distinctive voice. When you first hear it, I'm thinking, oh my God, he can sing again. He doesn't sing a lick on it. It's AI using his voice to create that. So if somebody that say like is not able to speak, like Bobby Heenan, for instance, with what a cruel twist of fate at the end, he would have been able to communicate. But somebody could also then take that and say, okay, here's Bobby Heenan saying something really heinous.
That's the hard part.
Right.
Is
and how do you know?
Correct. That's the. But there's no stopping it at this point.
No. Well,
that's the weird part. We're too deep. We're just too deep in it.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Anybody else watch Terminator like I did?
Yeah. I've never seen it, but I've seen enough of it where I go, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Where's Arnold when you need him?
Just a lot of water. Just throwing a lot of water at these things. Just buckets. Just to see him short circuit.
Now, here's going to be one of the questions that throws like the curveball to you. I never ask who's on Mount Rushmore with you, but who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Ultimate Warrior, because he was. I hated Hulk Hogan, man. He was too, just white meat, good.
Yeah.
He was just too awesome. I loved Warrior, man.
Yeah.
God, that's what made me fall in love with wrestling.
Did you ever know Jim?
I met him the night before he passed away.
No kidding, the Hall of Fame.
No, it was at Raw.
Oh.
He did this speech on Raw, and I met him at the curtain because I was like, I need to take this opportunity.
Yeah.
And I literally went up to him. I said, hey, man, you're the reason I'm here. You're the reason I'm into wrestling. You're the reason I was a fan as a child. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you. And he calls his wife over and says, can you tell her what you just said? Yeah. And then he asked me for a picture with him. And I was like, yes, sir. Can I take one as well? And and then the next morning he passed. And I was like, man, what like a fate.
Yeah.
What a cool, like a crazy bit of fate that I would never have met him. I would have never met him in my life.
Wow.
That I had to go up to him.
And you took the opportunity. Kids out there, when you get that chance.
Always take the photo. I live by, I tell every one of my students, I tell everyone I'm around, take the photo.
Yeah.
Who cares now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a mark. Yes, we are. We all are. Otherwise, we wouldn't do this. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Take the photo because they're going to die, or you are going to die. As dark and heinous as that is, it's going to happen.
Yeah. We're all leaving. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And let's have a cool memory. Of that.
Yeah. And before as Father Time starts to set in, you realize you're not going to be able to. I just ran into an old buddy the other day at a grocery store. We saw us on Thanksgiving Day played tackle football about 10 years ago. And I was going around, Mike Barnes is his name. Mike, if you're listening out there, I said, hey, ready to play? He went, I said, dude, I'm just talking about I'm going to break, Here, go ahead.
So Warrior.
Yeah.
Shawn.
Okay. Obvious.
Cena.
Yeah.
Man, that fourth one is hard.
The problem is there's just so many like that influence our careers and we
yeah,
like and dislike.
That's where it's like a weird one. Is like Undertaker. I feel like Undertaker has to.
Almost mandatory, right?
But Shawn is I think Shawn is the mandatory.
Yeah. An amazing performer.
I'm too young. I fully say, I'm too young to appreciate Flair. I fully admit that.
Again, in his day, it was a machine.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And he should be on it. Should not on everyone's because everyone. That's another crazy thing. Now, the second week of when we start our new classes every 6 months or here and there, I go, all right. Who got you into wrestling, and who was your first, and who is your favorite now?
Right.
And it's insane. It went from when we started the school 10 years ago, 80s and 90s guys, and now it's John Moxley, Bryan Danielson,
yes,
Seth Rollins. I go, oh my god, oh my god, I'm so old. Yeah. I'm so old.
In that vein, really ask real quick. Do you remember, like you say, you didn't watch sports, but anything you did watch, they always looked older. Like NFL players always
looked so old. Dan Marino was the only football player I ever cared about. He looked so old all the time.
Yeah.
The first one I remember looking kind of young was Jerry Rice. And I was like, oh, he must be a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But man, everyone looked so old because we're just young.
Right.
Oh, man, is that what I look like? No, I look real old now. Jesus.
I turned my son and I watched an NFL game last week. I went, they look like they're in elementary school. They look like babies. I know they put the diapers here. Jesus.
Yeah. So either the ones in our era were doing something real wrong, or now they're doing something incredibly right. Yeah.
So if you had to peg down on the fourth one,
Taker.
Yeah. It's and again, there's one of the revolving things. When people always come up and ask me who's on Mount Rushmore, I'm not there. I can name 500 people up there before I'd be.
Yeah, and that's where it's again the ego thing. Sure, you can view yourself along with them.
Yeah.
But man,
there's so many.
It's hard to argue. Who's yours?
For me, Funk. In large part because I worked with him. Mm-hmm. I got a chance to get in there. Arn, just because I learned so much watching him and working with him. Flair, like you said, is a must, right? Bruno's a must. For me, it's almost like there's going to be 25 heads up there.
Man, the Bruno one too is almost like Flair. Where I'm too young to appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
And especially not being from the East Coast.
Right. And the business was very different then, too.
Yeah. I mean, Hawkins gets the Bruno love because he grew up in New York, grew up in Long Island. He's heard it his whole life. Yeah. Same as Wisconsin with the Crusher and that. I go, God, that was so much long before me. Okay, they did great. But it's one of those things where I appreciate it, but I don't get it because it was so much before me.
And there's also no recollection. For Brian, he grew up at some point watching, whether on tape or whatever. Growing up in Pittsburgh, it was impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just part of the fabric there.
Yeah.
And
it would be like, man, remember when those big wheel bikes were big?
Yeah.
No, because we've grown past that kind of thing.
Right. I always say Harley's another one that I think just has to be up on Rushmore because he was when I would see before I could get the NWA, and I would read the magazines. My friends and I were all digging through the magazines. And I'd see him go, he's a champion? A truck driver, right? And then when I finally could watch it, I was like this. Mm-hmm. Just spellbound, and boy, he could do. And then you hear the different stories. Not that I necessarily saw it, because again, this was a little before my career. But Tommy Young, the referee, had told me he would be the referee he would, back then the NWA champion would go to Dallas and would go to San Fran and St. Louis. And he said that he was sick as a dog on one of the loops. And Tommy, without hardly knowing, called Dusty and said, he can barely stand up. And Dusty said, tell him 10, 12 minutes, just get out there and get it done. So he went to him and he told him, and he said, thank you, Tommy. Went to the ring, 50-some minute match, right? That's, when your boss says, give me 10, and you go out and you put 50 plus, that's respect.
Yeah, 100%. It's
give
crazy.
the fans their money.
Yeah. And it's just it's a work ethic of back then. I wouldn't say it's not that way now.
Right.
But we're in such a different place now.
Yeah.
You go 6 minutes now, and those fans are losing interest. It's just it's the weird world we live.
Hey, let me ask you real quick on that. Let's drill down on that for a second. When Steve Austin, when I did his podcast, he and I hadn't spoken in 10 years. Not for any reason other than his career went there, my career went there.
Whenever you were around him, ECW?
ECW, but I worked with him almost nightly with Steamboat and Brian.
Yeah. But the last time would have been ECW.
Yes, yeah. And so when we talked for like an hour before we even did the podcast, and he said, "Do you mind if I ask you this question during the interview? How long did it take you to feel comfortable in the ring?" So I said, broke in this year and there. 6-7 years. That didn't mean I mastered it. It just meant if some spot got effed up, my hair wouldn't catch on fire. Yeah. I'd take a breath and say, okay, let's get back on track. He said about the same for him. Now, that was 6-7 years of 350 plus, double shots on Saturdays and Sundays, a lot of them. In the ring, 20, 30, 35, 40 minutes routinely. And so in that 7 years, if you just took that time, say an average of 20 minutes a night and this many matches, for somebody that's getting into the business today, that's going to have a 6-minute match here, 8-minute match there, and doing it 50 days a year instead of 350, will they ever be able to get to that point of mastering it?
Yeah, I think so, because they're mastering it for this time.
Yeah, true.
This time is different than
10
years ago, which was different than 10 years ago, which was different than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Doing 60 minutes for Flair just became an easy thing.
Right.
It was just another night.
Yeah.
Thinking about doing 16 minutes now for me goes, no. So I can't, but it's just a way of the times. And I think that it's like that with wrestling, with technology, with every bit of just the landscape of life.
Yeah.
And so I do think I think it's easy. Not easy. I think they're able to master it for their era. I think.
Well, it makes sense. Yeah.
I don't think they need to master it for the 70s or the 80s.
Right.
What works now? That's what I hate so much, and I catch myself doing it as I get older. I hate so much the quote of back in my day.
Yeah.
God, it's nails on a chalkboard to me because
right.
I bring back, remember when we didn't have electricity back in my day?
Right.
It's not back in my day anymore.
Right.
We're now in this day where we have electricity and AI to do things for us. But it's so... What was back in the day was awesome for the times. And it's appreciative. I appreciate all of that. But to turn off the mindset to today is the weird part for me of like, why are we doing that? Why are we thinking this isn't right?
Right.
It is right because as long as they make noise, that's what we care about. We care about them.
True. And do you feel like with the business, I think, again, we're comparing apples and oranges, but back in the day, for us to get into Alexandria, Louisiana, and all these little towns and everything, because even though the TV was there, it personalized it, but it was another revenue stream. Mm-hmm. Oh God, with all this AI and computers and fancy doodads, there are so many additional now revenue streams. When I saw the WWE get sold for $9.4 billion, and about 5 months later, the Boston Celtics sold for 4-point-something billion. And I told Chris, we sold for double them. And before them, it's not like the price usually goes up, right? Can you be a more storied franchise than the Boston Celtics? it's in that vein of, where I give Vince his credit. I didn't like what he did with the business and the sports entertainment, all that, personally. But from a business standpoint, to been able to figure out and set this thing up for something to be sold for $9.4 billion.
It's untouchable.
Untouchable. Will all those revenue streams reach down to everybody that's partaking in it right now?
I think they have such a finger on a lot of pulses that I think with the TKO stuff, for a couple of years now, we're only seeing the beginning of it.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger. It's already grown since the sale. It's already grown immensely.
Yeah.
In gates, in income, all of that, and I think it's still at the very, very beginning stages of it.
Sure. You bring up a good point. There's always been in wrestling this comparison of this promotion to that promotion. This one does this and that one does this or whatever.
Which I think is good.
Sure.
My thought is with that is, no one likes, not if I have 10 people in a room, not everyone will like vanilla.
Yeah.
We need Neapolitan in wrestling.
Amen.
Neapolitan wrestling is the best.
You obviously had a positive experience in WWE when you went to TNA.
Yeah. I had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I did a bunch of stuff with Ethan Page and had a blast there. I did some stuff with Brian. And it's like, it's stuff like that where it's like, I've never, knock on something, I haven't had many bad.
Yeah.
I was just saying it to my dad last night at my son's football game.
I miss a kid's football game.
God dang.
Isn't it the best?
I hate sports. He started tackle football 2 years ago in like the offshoot league. But then he played high school last year. First game, I am just, this is the best. And I get so pissed at everything. And I go, man, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's so cool. But at the game I go, I've only been like screwed by 2 promoters. And now post WWE is 10 years. And man, so I've actually been pretty lucky. And I think with being able to PayPal and Venmo and advance, it cuts it a little bit. But it's like, man, I've been pretty lucky with that. So that's another thing where I feel very, very just happy about it. And it's positive.
Yeah. There's always been something about wrestling. Even as, I sort of watched as the industry went from what that was into this. But there's always been something about wrestling that for some reason attracts a certain element. Yeah. Whether it's the underhandedness or the, whatever. I just always believe, like, okay, you may screw somebody on a pay today. But you're not going to be able to do that for 25 years because the word's going to get around and the boys will sooner or later. Back then, those guys would handle it a whole lot different than we're allowed to handle
now
it today.
It happens. I'm going on socials.
Yeah.
Now it happens.
And they're always worse to do that.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, I mean worse for them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
get all that negative backlash.
I don't care.
Yeah.
If I'm now I'm now warning potential people that you want to work with.
Correct.
That you do bad business.
Yeah, but the fans also. Because the fans, do you find, and this is one of the things I find amazing about the wrestling fans and why we always say we have the greatest fans in the world. Those fans are coming out to see Hornswoggle or the franchise or Ric Flair or whoever because they want to see that hero of theirs. They don't want to hear afterwards that the ticket money that they gave.
The night off of work they took.
Yeah, right, yes. Or brought the family of 4 and all of that. And somehow you screwed their hero.
I think it's a mixture of that and also where is my money going then?
Yeah.
It's going to you?
Yeah.
Why are you keeping this?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be for the event.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Correct. Yeah.
So why am I? And then it's instant. Oh, I'll take that work shift instead.
Well, and you think about that from the fan base because, I grew up in a very blue-collar family like you did. For my mother to put the kids in the car, take us to the Pittsburgh Civic Arena, buy, in that case, it would have been like 7 tickets, 6 kids and her. Would have never been able to happen. So luckily we had TV, but my dad would then take me to wrestling. And, it's a big deal to a family out there that's not well off to say, can we go see Hornswoggle? Well, that's going to cost this much for tickets. I think it's important to keep it into that price range.
Yes. And with my company back in Wisconsin, we're we keep it here because all of us, for the most part, that run it now, have families and have kids. We go, all right, we take our kids to this. There is 2 tickets for me, and then we're going to get a pop each, we're going to get popcorn, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. He might want an autograph. Well, now let's say you have 3-4 kids, they each are going to want an autograph.
Sure.
So let's keep this low so they can get in the door and at least experience it.
See, well done.
We would rather get, and I live by it. I'd rather sell more for less, if that makes sense. I'd rather,
Absolutely.
Because now Timmy is going to go back to school and go, hey, look what I got. And Susie's going to go, look what I got. And then Jimmy's going to go, look what I got. And now their friends are going to go, oh, there's wrestling? And now maybe they'll come.
Sure, absolutely.
It's just, I'd rather the less is more mindset, and that works for. And I also think that is a region to region mindset to have.
Yeah.
In the big markets, and you don't need to have that because it's a completely different mindset economically.
When we were setting up for the first hardcore homecoming in 2005. We knew that it was going to be successful. We had no gauge that it was going to be that successful. Then we had all the curveballs, Candido dying weeks before.
It was very near.
Yes. And, it was just, a kick in the teeth in so many ways. But when we came to setting the ticket prices, there's a finite number of seats in the ECW arena. You can't squeeze 10,000 people in there. And so we kept going through the ticket prices, and I kept looking at the bottom line and thinking, okay, what if we raise these to this price? And I was just sort of going through the wishful thinking, what's the crazy number? And the 100, I think it was 125 or 150 for the first 2 rows. And I thought, I couldn't imagine anybody paying that. We put them on sale, if they'd have been 300. I mean, I think we sold the place out 16 minutes. And now you go, son of a bitch, right? But still happy that we did it that way because it turned out to be a great night. The fans came there, got their money's worth. But it's, in running a business, it's hard. The flights, hotels, it's a lot of expense that goes into it.
But also you got to almost step back and go, okay, what if you went 300 and you didn't sell it?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Now you're sitting on empty chairs.
Yeah.
Now you're turning away fans. Right.
Yeah.
Of any kind, and now you're not selling out. You're not. It's something it's a hard middle ground to find.
Right. And without having like WWE, WC, these had machines behind them that could figure this stuff out.
Paulie was still in WWE at the time.
Yes.
Right. He was writing.
Yes.
Creative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get back. We keep on these officers because they're so fascinating to talk with. Back to the time in WWE, who was 2 questions I've always wanted to ask you. Who was considered like the dressing locker room leader?
Undertaker sure still was.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the boss. He was the Tommy Palooza or whatever the Sopranos boss is. Tony Soprano.
Tommy Palooza.
I knew it. Big Sopranos guy, as you can tell. Yeah, it was him. Still.
Okay, one of the other questions that's always, because my generation gets asked the same thing, and I'm sure you've heard the stories about Haku and
Fit Finlay. Dave Finlay was the toughest.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I got teamed and paired with him. Because it was it was pretty instant. I talk about it a lot. I don't know why it was so fast, but it was like a father-son relationship with us.
Yeah.
2 weeks in.
Is that right?
And it was instant.
Makes it easy on the road, too, then.
Yeah. We never traveled. We traveled together twice in 10 years.
No kidding.
That's it. But it was such a father-son relationship that we had where I didn't get the razzing because I think people were afraid of it.
Yes.
I can't mess with his son, obviously. Yeah. So, I was like, I can do whatever. I can be the bully in the locker room. But yeah, him, man. And it wasn't even like dickhead.
Sure.
Like,
I was going to say, I've always seen Finn as one of the good
the
guys.
best.
Yeah.
But people knew that if they did cross him, they'd be twisted and punched in the mouth at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was... How do you feel like Undertaker stepped into that position? Or when did you see it while you were there in WWF that he really stepped into that judge, jury, executioner kind of role?
That was after.
It was after.
But segueing.
I was saying when you were there, it had to be getting.
95.
Yeah, but it had to be like brewing that he was going to be the guy.
You knew, even the Clique knew they couldn't fuck with Taker.
Why? Why do you think that was?
Because at that time, from my observation, there was like a bifurcation in the locker room. For sure. You had the Clique over here that was running roughshod, but then over here you had Taker and
BSK
Yoko. Yeah. You had those guys that were sort of not caring, like not worried about over here, but it's going to protect this here surrounding them. And Charlie, of course, and Brett, I think, was involved in that, but like on a more quiet basis.
Do you think that then Undertaker got almost like such a respect for the locker room, for standing up for the locker room?
Yes.
That he was then viewed as the boss, essentially?
Yeah. But also, I think in the dressing rooms back then, you had to walk the walk to be able to get that.
Yeah.
And let's face it, Taker went out consistently and delivered the goods.
Yep.
That's the thing that I always saw with Mark was, man, he could just do it.
Mm-hmm. Did you work with him a lot?
Never. I only worked with him one time in WCW.
You never house shows or anything?
Never got a chance up there.
Oh, that shocks me. Yeah. I would have thought at least in a couple house show loops.
I would have loved to. Yeah, it's it was funny. Like Mark Callis in WCW, you could see the talent in him. But they just couldn't come up with anything for him. And I also give Taker credit in this sense. Again, I have no love for sports entertainment. I'm a wrestling guy. But he had the goods in the ring, so he could do the wrestling side of it, and did how many times. I credit Mark Taker with mainstreaming sports entertainment, because they knew, I think enough fans knew that he had been in the business prior to that, and all of a sudden now he's this dead man with this guy with an urn and this crazy outfit on and everything else. No Taker, I'm not so sure sports entertainment would have blossomed into what it was, because now you can have all these other sort of characters. To that.
I mean, they had he was the start of the weirdo characters.
Yeah.
Before the clowns and the plumbers and all of that.
Yeah.
And so he was the start of that. I mean, years before.
And what's the one difference? Like when you see the...
You believed it. You believed that he could still kill you.
Could believe it.
Yeah.
He could go. But also, with those other characters, I think because the way it was just sort of... In Vince's head, these guys weren't Taker. And so the plumbers and the goons and the deans and all of that, and we're not going to get the opportunity to demonstrate that. Like, I think he had, whether consciously or subconsciously, my little psychoanalysis of Vince, he knew in Taker he had something incredibly special. One in a lifetime.
And I think even at that time, that was only 5 years before, but in such a short time, he overtook the business.
Yeah.
Insanely.
Yes.
I mean, and being one, I mean, I was deathly afraid of him as a kid.
Really?
1990, I was so scared of him.
Yeah.
I was 4, I was so scared of him. But then, going from so frightening to then so beloved.
Yes.
When he put the purple gloves on.
Right.
And then just continuously loved and loved and loved. And even the couple times during the ministry stuff and they tried to turn him, a heel, they turned him, and people booed him.
Yeah.
But people were still like, "This is the fucking Undertaker."
Right.
I'm not gonna boo him.
There was even a sense of that. Like when I was there in '95, you could tell that he was. Again, it's all contingent in my way of thinking. Take away Hell in a Cell match, Shawn Michaels match, just all these incredible matches, the Hunter match. Every time Undertaker was put in a position to get somebody else over, he both got them over and got the business over. Everything kept rising with Taker. And that's, Hogan did that at an earlier time in a different way. And other people, Bruno back in the day, Flair in his day. But Taker was, I think, that front end of this conglomeration of here comes the technology right around the corner. Here's this, here.
Really making sure everyone
yeah
got over. Company, self, other person.
The whole thing was, the old saying is the rising tide rises all ships. Taker was that rising tide. He wasn't the ship, he was the rising tide.
Who did you work with most in WCW?
Scott Hall. Or WCW. WCW, originally Midnight Express.
No. Sorry. Second run.
A second run would have been with Brian and Steve. Me and Ricky.
Sorry.
Third run.
Oh, God. Okay, let's go. 2000.
We were. That's when they were starting. It was a really odd time in WCW.
You Bam Bam Candido?
No. Oddly enough, they had put us together. I had pitched that.
No, sorry. You.
Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn. We were the Revolution.
Yes. I thought you. Who's Canyon Bam Bam? I thought it was you.
No.
You Canyon Bam Bam?
No.
Who was Canyon Bam Bam with?
Canyon Bam Bam.
Not having a good memory.
You got me. I'm drawing a blank.
Hawkins is gonna kill me.
Secret is
he's gonna kill me. So it was you four. Yeah, the Revolution stuff. Okay, who did you work? I mean, against. I'm saying.
Against. It really never settled into it. That's how cattywampus it was.
Oh, okay.
In one moment they had us, out there beating down Jim Duggan and run off by Brett, and then the next they had me in a singles match. They had Chris in a singles match, and it came to such a quick end because what happened was the politics was cancer business. We had just had that huge push on the pay-per-view, and at TV the next night, the pay-per-view the day before was in Cincinnati. We were in Columbus for the TV. Overnight, we were hearing, actually the day before the pay-per-view, we were hearing rumblings that Kevin Sullivan was going to become. I was going along great with Kevin. Mm-hmm. It didn't necessarily cause any concern to me. But Chris, honestly, I thought the thing with Nancy, I thought most of that was a work. I had no idea it was a shoot until I got there. And so they went in to talk, and I went in with them, just being their partner, and talked to Bill Banks. The main is Bill Bush or Bill Banks? Bill Bush. I always get the BBs mixed up. And I had actually recorded. I've got that recording somewhere in my house. So we couldn't get accused of saying this or saying that. Right after that meeting, we left. And we're spread out. Some were catering, some were in the locker room. And security came one by one and took us out of the building.
You four?
Before the show.
You four?
Yes. Conan was involved in it. I think Rey Mysterio was involved in that. Hoovy, maybe. There were 6, 7, or 8 of us. We were all staying at the Holiday Inn at the Columbus airport. And they had tickets home for us. We'd all met back at the hotel. We went down and we shared a couple bottles of wine as we were talking. Like, we need to cover our asses here. And then we left and went home, and that was the end of it. It was, they were, Diana Myers was telling me, you have to sign your release. I said, the fuck I do? I never asked for a release. I'm not wanting a release. if you want to come to my house and try to make me something, you're more than welcome to. And that's why they ended up paying for almost 3 years past that. But it was comical to watch. Like, what it boiled down to was she was pissed off these wrestlers were making more money than her. And I thought, you have every right to go to
She was a corporate person?
Okay. Yeah. And how dare
Never
you,
in wrestling?
Yeah, how dare you knuckle draggers, but to be fair to WCW and Time Warner as much as I can, you had so much chaos going on in WCW.
You look at that rosters. I mean, there's so... The roster was enormous.
Yeah.
Enormous.
You're the booker, you got that dressing room.
Yeah.
Whew, crazy. But, it was also like... I'll give you these 2 points. When I first got there and attacked Flair, half the building was losing their mind. Shane Douglas finally got his hands on Flair. And the other half was going, who's the blonde guy? I mean, it was that stark. Yeah. And I tried to tell him, we can't just go right into this. You gotta keep putting heat on me because until we get these others, hey, that's the kid that used to be a dynamic dude. And they wouldn't do it. Another time, Eric Bischoff came to me and goes, I've just never bought the chain. I said, really? I've never once used it. I didn't get a response from it. He goes, I'll think of something. So next thing I come back, calls me out of his office. He's got this like pit bull, like toe chain, like 8 feet long. He's holding us. I looked at it hurt. I said, no. Where exactly am I supposed to hide that? And you see, like, he went, oh yeah, I get it. I think that, I used to, back before I was fat, I had like -2 inch right about, my tights were about that big. And it just, it's the lack of forethought. But there were so many, you can't, like, people talk about the Russo camp and the Bischoff camp.
There was more than too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah. And, you'd see people come in and literally look at the board and go, start just erasing writing names in, and like, you didn't know, like, is that like official? Is that like a real thing? Or is we sticking with the old one? And, in my head, you got the sense there were not many, but there were times when we'd have a taping that would like really hit and you'd think, okay, we're getting traction. And most of those times you'd go back and you'd watch the replay once you got home of WWF, and it always felt like the coyote trying to grab the rotor. Yep.
Yep.
They just couldn't get themselves onto a single page as to figure out all that talent.
Again, I think that's going back to the too many cooks.
Yeah.
There isn't one head.
No.
There's many, and you can't, it's hard to run a business like that, especially a television production.
Yeah.
With that.
And I think with all those offshoots today, like, again, vastly different now than even then. But when you're looking at social media and all of that, and you got the age-old argument, like, is this your personal, or do they have have a right to tell you what to put on there or whatever? There are so many more avenues to improve your brand, make it bigger, more popular, larger, more money coming in. There's also ways, like one wrong word or burp or fart out there and yank. The whole thing's corporate's now sudden.
Yeah, and I
what did Dylan say?
That's a positive and a negative, man. I really truly feel it. It's a negative because you have to watch it so much, but in all reality, is that negative? Not big, but I think it's positive because it gets a lot of riffraff out.
Yeah. It's obviously always, and I think most semi-intelligent people would have, if I'm in front of a TV camera, I'm going to, should I say this or maybe
You're
not?
Speaking different to your friends than your grandmother.
Yeah, right. Yes. And, it's always been there, but I think also there's just my little soapbox, I think everybody has a reason to feign being outraged. I can't believe Swoggle just said that to me. Right? They got to prove somebody to get some.
No one leaves good reviews on Amazon anymore.
Is that right?
No, I mean, or on Target. It's all negative. You're gonna see way more negative reviews on a product than positive.
Yeah.
Because if you get something good, you're not gonna go, oh man, I really need to write about this because it's really, really good and positive. And you're just gonna use the product.
Yeah.
If it's a piece of shit product, you're gonna go, how can I get my money back? How can I tell everyone this sucks?
Yeah.
So.
It's the same thing, like, again, just the difference in the worlds. when I was a kid, everybody would say, the news is always negative, right? Well, yeah, because nobody wants to hear about, like, the guy that, had a, like, nice little house on the corner and the flowers came out great.
No one wants to hear about a hero for more than 30 seconds.
Right.
Because you go, all right, my algorithm is police body cam videos, and they make me so happy, Shane. At night, I fall asleep to police body cam videos of just, like, people getting pulled over or squatters. The last few were squatters. And it's just like, I love them. It makes me happy. But if I think, like, oh, man, I can't fall asleep to positive videos.
Right.
That's the world we live in.
Right.
It's the world of cops. Like,
yeah.
If cops was like, these cops here saving the day and walking old ladies across the street, no one would watch that. No one would care.
Okay, but they would have gone halfway.
Correct. Right? Yeah. See ya. Yeah. And that would have been the ratings through the roof. It's just that I think that's the world, and I think it's always been about that.
Yeah. Human beings are human beings, right? It's I'll play the history teacher here for a second, but it's as they're uncovering Pompeii, which was covered by Vesuvius, 1600, 2600 years, something like. They're finding that basically those people, roughly 2,000 years ago, were living pretty much the same way we do today. They're just on the doodads and gadgets, right? They've got a brothel, they got a bar, they got a restaurant, they got a hotel, bakery, laundry, same stuff. And that, you think about it, human beings are human beings, right? I'm sure they'd laugh at the same stuff then,
Correct.
And the same jeer at the same stuff.
Kicked in the nuts is always funny.
But mine just because you said like yours with the cop thing and the squatters, mine is this thing right now like where the people that decide like they're going to go out and tangle with ice or whatever, and there's a split second where, as they're doing it, the first one I saw was like a little skinny guy was walking up to there's a line they're not allowed to cross. Right? He keeps walking up to me, finally walks up to me, jumps over it and jumps back, and as soon as he does, boom, those like bees coming out of the hive.
Love it.
And he turns around, you can see his face like, why are you chasing me? What's wrong?
How dare you? When I broke this law, how dare you come after me?
Yeah.
You gotta go. Guys, you gotta think, if I do this, I might get away with it twice.
Yeah.
Third time, I'm gonna get nabbed.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Not sounding like the boring civics teacher. What's everything say? You can't tell me, Dylan. I have rights. There's a little more to that. You have rights and responsibilities. Correct. So you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. And again, I think all you public school teachers out there are doing a disservice today because you're not teaching this stuff. When you have somebody like that, I'm fine with them opposing ICE. I'm fine with them loving ICE. However, that's your right as an American. But when you think you can, like the one yesterday, kid walks up and he throws a rock through the back window of an ICE vehicle. Now, in his head, he's thinking, what's the worst going to happen? Have to pay for a window. Except your civics teacher forgot to teach you this. If you impede a federal law official from doing their job, you may face 10 years in prison. Yeah. Your life just changed there, didn't it? Real civics teachers would have taught that, and it's not being taught today. And there's a small part of you that almost feels sorry for the kid because somebody had a responsibility to this and didn't do it. Our responsibilities as wrestlers is a little bit less important, right?
Yeah.
To hit the spot or not hit the spot. But having been my kids are like your son in this generation and not seeing those things, not hearing those things talking about being taught. It's but I digress. I get off on that kind of soapbox and look, it's we got to have a regular. He's gonna be
I love it.
Like my sidekick, right? Because we just get on there in a minute and look back and go like, it's been 15. No, it's 20 minutes. Like about 2 hours.
Makes me happy.
Appreciate you being here, brother, as always. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming here. We'll see you next time on Appalachian Expose.